When Rodah Mugichu first met her husband, she thought she had found the perfect man. He was charming, attentive, and everything she dreamed of. They married when she was just 20 years old, and for a while, life was blissful. But soon, the fairy tale began to crumble. The man she loved started to change. He became controlling, jealous, and violent. The first time he hit her, she was shocked. It happened after a small argument about dinner. He slapped her so hard she fell to the ground. He immediately apologized, crying and begging for forgiveness. He promised it would never happen again. Rodah, young and in love, believed him. But it did happen again, and again, and again. The violence escalated from slaps to brutal beatings that left her with bruises, broken bones, and deep emotional scars. For 17 long years, Rodah lived in a constant state of fear. Her home, which should have been a safe haven, became her prison. Her husband controlled every aspect of her life. He dictated what she wore, who she could talk to, and where she could go. He isolated her from her friends and family, making her feel completely alone and dependent on him. She tried to leave several times, but he always found a way to manipulate her into coming back, using their children as leverage or threatening her life. The community around her was not much help. In her village, domestic violence was often seen as a private family matter. People would hear her screams, see her injuries, but turn a blind eye. The shame and stigma associated with being a victim kept her silent. She felt trapped, with no one to turn to and nowhere to go. Her spirit was slowly being crushed under the weight of the abuse. One day, after a particularly vicious attack that landed her in the hospital, something inside Rodah snapped. As she lay in her hospital bed looking at her battered reflection, she knew she couldn't go on like this. She had to escape, not just for herself, but for her children. They deserved a life free from fear and violence. This was her turning point. With the help of a nurse who secretly connected her with a local women's shelter, Rodah planned her escape. It was the most terrifying thing she had ever done. One night, while her husband was out, she gathered her children and a few belongings and ran. She didn't look back. At the shelter, she found something she hadn't experienced in years: safety, support, and a community of women who understood her pain. The road to recovery was not easy. Rodah had to battle post-traumatic stress, anxiety, and the financial hardship of starting over. But she was resilient. She attended counseling sessions, learned new skills, and slowly began to rebuild her life from the ground up. She found a job in a small apartment for her and her children. For the first time in nearly 2 decades, she was in control of her own destiny. Today, Rodah is more than just a survivor. She is a thriver. She has become a powerful advocate for victims of domestic violence in Kenya. She shares her story openly, breaking the silence and stigma that once trapped her. She works with local organizations to provide support, resources, and hope to other women who are suffering in silence. Her courage has inspired countless others to leave abusive relationships and reclaim their lives. Rodah Mugichu's story is a testament to the incredible strength of the human spirit. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. Her journey from a victim to a victorious advocate shows that it is possible to break free from the cycle of violence and build a new, better life. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please remember you are not alone. Help is available. Reach out to a local shelter, a trusted friend, or a national helpline. Taking that first step can be the hardest, but it's the first step towards freedom. Thank you for listening to Rodah's powerful story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content.